Thank you, Tara. Hello, everyone. So as Tara said, my name's Toni, and I'm based in Cape Town in South Africa. And I'd love to just hear in the chat where you are from. It would be just nice to kind of get a sense of where in the world we all are. So I have been a full-time poet for the last 12 years. Yesterday was my 12-year entrepreneurial anniversary. Um, and I started working with Tara, doing one-to-one coaching um, in July of 2022. And I started Embodied Business in October of 2022. And I don't know how else to say this except to say that working with Tara has changed my life. Um, I've known that I'm a highly sensitive person for the last kind of 5 or 6 years. And for those who don't know what that is, it's a nervous system that's more sensitive to sensory input and sensory stimulation. And that means that our bodies are working at a much quicker, faster rate. So we reach a state of feeling tired and overwhelmed and oversaturated much quicker. And what's happened is that working with Tara has allowed me to come home to my body and then realign my entire life and the way that I work, um, to honor my body, listen to its guidance, and really trust it, and to just kind of come home to myself. And so I just want to share a few things. Before I started working with Tara, I was kind of going through I was kind of really struggling with a lot of inner child things that were coming up and blocking me taking steps forward in my business and showing up and trusting myself. Um, and now I'm in a position where I live and work according to my menstrual cycle, which means I schedule things around my cycle. I schedule courses, marketing around my cycle. Um, I don't know when last I got seriously ill. I haven't had any kind of serious illness in the time that I've, since doing embodied business. And I would regularly have kind of um, burnout, overexhaustion, and burnout periods before that. I've shed so many masks, ways of thinking, like ways that I thought I had to show up in order to be successful, or ways of thinking like I need to do things like other people in order to be successful, and just kind of learned how to trust myself, but also like did all the deep clearing work of like the fears and the wounds and the cultural wounds and the ancestral wounds and the limiting beliefs that were stopping me from showing up and being visible, even though I wanted to. So even though my mind wanted to, my body was like, we're not doing that. And so really kind of shared a lot of those things. It also, I think one of the other significant things is that I'm a creative, but I wasn't using my creativity in the actual development of my business. It's like I was being a creative on like when I'm writing, but then when I was like running the business, I was running like trying to be a business person. I was like, but that's not who I am. And so now I bring that creative process into the actual running of my business, how I set up courses. So I teach writing courses and I mentor, I do one-to-one mentorship with writers as well. Um, and so I think also working with Tara one-on-one has has just allowed me to feel held. And I think I naturally go deep. And so I kind of can't work with people who stay on the surface because I want to get to the root of something and I want to do it now. And Tara has this ability to like to hold, we go straight in. Like the amount of the way that I shift things in an hour session is insane. Like yesterday, was my last one-to-one coaching session with her. And I walked in and I said, I'd like to listen for what the next step is in my business. And I've kind of come through a period of big transition and lots of things ending and kind of almost lots of fallow ground. And we went in and we listened, and by the end I had a whole new offering that's ready to go. And I'm just gonna implement it, will be up and running by May. But that's what happens kind of working because Tara holds so fully. That's what happens. And I think the thing that's really significant that I will say is that because this work is gentle, it can be we can so easily underestimate its power. But it's the fact that it's gentle and that it requires you to listen to your own body and honor what's moving for you that makes it so powerful. And so at every point, like you are in charge, you are sovereign, you decide how deep you go, you decide how far you are ready to go. um but it's like an old ancient magic that so many of us know and so many of us have in our ancestral lineages, that Taurus found a way to kind of bring back and make accessible in this entrepreneurial space. And I just, yeah, I'm so grateful. And I feel like if it is calling you, it's such a beautiful, beautiful space. And the people that Tara attracts into the space are kind and generous and warm and just human. Yeah. There's never, it's always just felt so supportive and gentle and just nourishing.